And so those who do not are not doing anything, have lands, but are allowing it to waste, and then they go about begging for urgent 2K. Just imagine how many urgent 2Ks are in the bag of soybean that is 90,000. Then if I have the resources, have the financial strength, I can get a good land and then just dedicate a farm to the IDPs. Having in mind that though they are confined, they are ranched. Instead of cows being ranched, human beings are ranched in IDPs. That though they are ranched, they have their own farm. If we're not told reliably that I was born in a hospital, I would have felt I was born in the farm.
At the heart of the food basket of the nation, Benue State, Nigeria, lies the amazing story of a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Tivdo Mfa, who has had an amazing impact in the lives of his people and community. The Tiv Cultural Festival, popularly known as Kyeh Sha Shuwa, is founded by this Reverend Father. He has done quite a lot, and we are impressed to come here to see his trailblazing and amazing work in agriculture also. He's an astute farmer and will be sharing his lovely experience with us. Stay tuned. Could you tell us about yourself and your journey as a priest and how you have developed so far?
I am Very Reverend Father Solomon Mfa Okeyima. I am the priest in charge, St. Mark's Catholic Mission P. I am the dean of the Ikpayongo Deanery in Makurdi Diocese. I was ordained a priest in 2004. So this year, precisely August 14th, I was 21 years a priest.
Wow.
And I'm also the convener of the KSS Cultural Initiative, the Kyeh Sha Shuwa Cultural Initiative, the biggest Tiv cultural event at the moment in Benue State.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll come to that Kyeh Sha Shuwa Festival and all it stands for. But before then, let's get to know, how did your interest in farming begin? What pushed you into agriculture, and how did the passion for farming come for you?
If we're not told reliably that I was born in a hospital, I would have felt I was born in the farm. Because my parents were farmers, and then from childhood, that is what we got, is where we got our feeding, we got our school fees, we got everything. And so even when at the early stage, I had to go and be with my paternal grandfather, it was the same thing he was doing. And so I took to it. I loved it because it gave me a future. And so even when I became a priest, and my first assignment was in Jatuaka, the place that was affected by a political crisis a year before my ordination. And then when I was ordained, I was sent there. Life was really tough. But then the people are really blessed with fertile lands. And so I had to make use of what I got from my parents, from my home, from my grandparents. And so I went into farming. And that really puts a lot of smiles on my face. And so it was really, really good monies I got from there. And I was spending for myself. And so when I left Jatoka, I had some short stay in the cathedral. And then I went to there to the farming community. And so I continued in Daudu. I did same. I came back to Demekwe. It wasn't a farming community, so I could not do it there, but I see there was that craving to have a farm. So sometimes I'll contact a friend who was in the farming community, and I'll give him some money so that let me just, that satisfaction of having what you want. And then after the transfer to here, and then here it's a farming community too. So I have a little of it at the back of my house here, and then some other place. So it's like it's something that it's me.
Yeah.
Anywhere I go, and then I have the opportunity of having a small land, I must farm because it gives me joy, it gives me satisfaction. It connects me from my years to years.
Yeah, amazing. So coming down to the Kyeh Sha Shuwa Festival, it is seen as one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Tiv cultural festival that has brought the heritage and people of the Tiv nation to global limelight. So how did this idea, come about?
Now, when I sit and look back at the beginning of Kyeh Sha Shuwa and what it is now, I said that I don't need to tell people about the parable of the mustard seed because I've seen it before my very eyes. Because Kyeh Sha Shuwa started like a joke, like a mustard seed, and then it had to spread. And so sometimes when I look at it, I say that was divine initiative. It wasn't coming from me. Because I was in Daudu, and then the tea were displaced by the militant Fulani headsmen. And so while they were there, I had to close my schools to have the IDPs there. And one day they had friction, and one had to challenge another and then tell him that he's not from here, all that stuff. So I felt that no, this disunity has spread that much. How can a tea man be telling another in tea land about stuff? So I said that, oh, I think one of the things that has would not have, so that will always all come together, they'll give us a sense of unity, a sense of oneness. They'll tell us that what we have in common is far greater than the accidents of life is not there.
Yeah.
Because then the thief day had stopped. The thief day was no longer there, and then there was nothing to bring the thief people together. So I say if I organize a congress, then the son will say that the crusade. Some will say I'm not a Catholic, so I won't go there. If another pastor does it, some will say I'm not a Pentecostal, I will not go there. And in case it does so, and then so I say okay, let me think of what I will do, and then every team I will connect it to it.
Yeah.
And then I say every team eats. Yes, every team eats. And so what is that delicacy of the tea people that can connect, bring them together? Then I remember the delicacy of the Kyeh Sha Shuwa. Our parents used to tell us that for the tea man to give you Kyeh Sha Shuwa, it means I have a special place in his heart. And then I remember and I knew that for the tea man, eating together is more than trying to have some strength, have some energy and all that. But the team man, when the team man eats together, first it shows unity.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it shows forgiveness or reconciliation. And then thirdly, when two people are eating, they talk. And as they're talking, progressive and developmental ideas are shared. So for the team man, eating food is beyond just eating food. So I said, okay, let me make this Kyeh Sha Shuwa. Let it make it become a me more than a me. And so then I started it, the mustard seed in Daudu. And then pictures went out, and then when people saw it, it was so colorful.
It's more like a global brand now,
so,
because all around the world, people talk about it.
So when they saw it and all that, and then they came to know the spirit behind it, the philosophy behind it. Does not just go to eat and then have energy and leave.
Yes.
Because there are many people that used to go there. The first guest speaker was one Unongo of blessed memory. And then when he went there, he saw the people, he spoke to them, and then Professor K, late Professor K, they were always there. These are people that if they want every day of their lives, they can eat a bag of Benue State and 10 chicken. But they'll leave the home, go there, because what was there was a me more than a me. And then you go there, and then they'll go there, you do not know the difference between who is APC, who is PDP, who is ABGA, who is the Labour Party, or who is NKC, who is Pentecostal, who is Catholic, who is Anglican, who is that? The common thing, the rallying point is that we are thief, and then we must show our thiefness. And then we'll have some dances, some cultural dances, some cultural expressions that will go extinct. We'll have them displayed. And then you have that connection. And then that's the reason why many who are very far, they plan the end of year program in such a way that they're home, so that even their children will come to know that this is their culture. And so it was so painful because the tea people, they have a rich cultural heritage.
Yes.
They are so blessed. And then this thing, and it's always looking for a platform to express itself. That platform was no longer there because the tea day was not there. And so when this thing came, the way it came, and then people knew that it was a political, it caught fire. And that is why it has gone that far.
Yeah. So it's really intriguing how you as a priest are still able to pull all this together, and all the other initiatives that you are, doing, farming, and then your your work as a priest. So how are you able to combine this? And
Right.
do you feel for agric now, farming and spirituality, is there a link, faith-based link to farming and agriculture? Because for some people, well, farming is just perhaps business to make money out of it. But is there a bigger picture for you?
So, like so many people do have this other confusion about the priest going to a cultural festival, cultural event. I say that the priest comes from somewhere. Was not
Yes.
dropped from the skies. And so, and the church even allows, encourages enculturation and acculturation. So Jesus himself came from a place, and most of the stuff we hear, the parables, the mustard seed, some of these are things that are known to the people there, but are not known to us. So you want to talk about something that has a small seed, then you have to talk about benefit so that the people will understand.
Yeah.
And so Jesus had a culture. I have my own culture. And it's always good to begin from the known to the unknown. When you come from that angle, you get people. And then the gospel encourages unity. Unity, the perfect example of unity is that of the Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. So if organizing the cultural event like this would unite the two people, bring them together, then that in itself is in line with the teachings of the church, in line with the teachings of Jesus, is good theology.
Yeah. So amidst the rising insecurity in Nigeria, in Benue State especially, and the Middle Belt region, there has been lots of rural to urban migration. And we know that the heart of agriculture is usually in the rural areas. But we have people moving away due to insecurity, banditry, and attacks. What is really the way forward? Are there action steps you think the church needs to take, faith-based communities, government and local communities, to mitigate against anything that would threaten our food security in the future?
Yes, what the church uh, could do, or the church can do, the church is doing. Because the first is to be the voice of the voiceless. We are the ones to amplify the plight of these people, because some of them, they have lost everything, they've lost their voice, they cannot be heard. So we who are the mouthpieces of God and who are the representatives of the people will have to let the world know that this is what is happening. And then that is the first thing that the church can do, and the church is doing. And then the other thing is we show them by practical, by examples, what they should do. Like I keep telling my people here, those who are used to feeding two mouths must prepare that they're going to feed five, because some who are the relations and in some of those places that have suffered displacements will have to fall back on them. So if you're aware the attacks are not that much and you can access your farm, do your best so you go beyond what you used to do, because you have a dependence. For now, that is what we can do. And then we'll keep, the church cannot do beyond this, because the church has no power does not control the security agencies.
Yeah.
If Nigeria ceases to be a joke, Nigeria wants to be serious, then this will be taken care of. We've seen instances where our military men have gone outside of this country to have normalcy return in places and bring peace and all that, and then come back. Then why is it that it's very difficult for us to have it here? Because Nigeria is insisting on remaining a joke for now, unless until Nigeria becomes serious. We'll still continue to experience war, because there are some people that are seen to be sacred cows. And so you see them with AK-47, that makes no news. But then see a farmer with a knife to go and then peel his yams, then he's caught, locked up, that he's having a weapon that is not supposed to go about. So the key cow here, it becomes a news, and then 50, 70 are slaughtered, are butchered, pregnant women, children, and then we behave as if no life is taken. So that's why I'm saying Nigeria is still a joke, unless until we get out of this joke that we are, and then we get more serious. That is the only thing that can help us.
Okay. So you have personally been involved in some advocacy for justice, territorial integrity and the protection of land, and ensuring that farmers go back to farm and then food is produced some more. Could you just tell us a little of the efforts you have put in galvanizing community and for this purpose?
Yeah, with like I said, I've been involved in so many ways. I was the speaker of the famous movement MAFO, Movement
Okay.
Against Fulani Occupation, because we saw them coming, and then when we pointed the finger to what was coming, they only saw our finger and they didn't look at what we were pointing to, because they knew that the headsmen that were coming were not just aggressive; they were coming with the way they were prepared, the way they armed, and then we knew that they were coming to occupy our land, come and displace and occupy the land. So we did a lot. We even took the federal government to ECOWAS court, and then they gave us in paper. We won, but nothing went beyond that. And so we've been trying to encourage our people to see how they can secure their lands by the state government and then the local government, trying to see that in a little way they encourage the security agencies that are a bit serious. Because like I said, it's a very difficult one, because it's like an us, a cricket going against an elephant. Because the federal government has the might, has everything. And so the federal government is here to turn her eye to your cries, to your plight, and nothing happens. And so we're people who are people of faith and hope. So oftentimes we cry to God to raise more patriotic leaders who really listen to our cries and see our pains and see that we're better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people describe you as a philanthropist.
I'm not a philanthropist. I'm only a beggar for beggars. And I try to create a platform where people will see them, see their plight, and then see if they can reach out, lend a hand of help, reach out to them. I have a group called Ngomba Dido. I have it in Daudu, I have it in Ikpam, I have it in Demekwe, and then I have it here. It's a gathering of very, very old women, some that automatically they are seen to be witches, as who know our people. When people grow old, so I gather them, and then they have a common story. They share, and then they come together, and together they see, they share their years, and then I gather people who want to have blessings from people like that to reach out to them. And then we have a Mater Dei widows, Mater Dei, Mother of God. And there are some widows, especially now we have so many young widows around, some that their husbands were out to defend the land and were butchered or killed. And so I want to always give them hope that Mary, the Mother of God, too, suffered widowhood at the young age. And so that is why I've given them, they'll be under her umbrella as Mater Dei widows, the Mother of God. So I let them borrow strength and courage and hope from Mary, our mother. And it's been working. Sometimes from time to time, people reach out to me, so that I'll reach out to the widows or reach out to the old women. And so that is one of the things I do. And then for the IDPs, I'm one of them. I tell you that is my constituency, because I was displaced 3 times by the militant Fulani herdsmen. When I was working in Uday, Sacred Heart Parish Uday, 2 times. I had my parishioners who I knew by name killed. And then when I was working in Daudu 1 time, so I'm 3 times. So I understand better their pains. I understand better their plight. Because even as a priest who was displaced, I had access to good accommodation, good shelter, good food, good medical attention, and all that. I knew what I went through. And so when I see them in camps, not having access to some of these good things that I even had, but then inside me there was some pains. I knew I know what I go through. So I made it my apostolate to always beg from here and there and reach out to them. I think it's because of these little things that people say that I'm a philanthropist and all that, but I always say that I'm just a bigger beggar.
In a society weighed down by the heavy shadows of banditry, terrorism, and displacement, voices of hope are rare, yet profoundly needed. Reverend Father Solomon Mfa stands as one of those rare voices, an unwavering beacon amidst the storms. From Benue State, the food basket of our nation, where countless people have been chased out of their ancestral lands, he continues to embody courage, resilience, and vision. Through his relentless commitment to food security and his bold advocacy for justice in the face of conflict, Father Mfa has become a rallying point, not just for his people in Benue and the Middle Belt, but for Nigeria as a whole. His efforts to preserve and project the culture and heritage of the Tiv people through Kyeh Sha Shuwa Festival reflects a man deeply rooted in identity, yet forward-looking in purpose. Beyond the pulpit, his corporate social responsibility shines in his care for widows, support for internally displaced persons, and in his passion for raising young, vibrant leaders who will shape the future of this nation. He is not merely building a faith-based community, he is nurturing a movement of people committed to justice, growth, and transformation.
Father, amidst all this you are doing, do you think there is a place for young people in this whole scheme of activity?
Yeah, there is. For me, I always say that anyone who eats has a place in farming, because this is where we get to get the food. And that's why, if you know, the very, very rich men, so some people who, some may want to say that they are fulfilled men, who are still into farming. Apart from getting the produce that you can take to the market and then feed you, there is that psychological satisfaction that comes to you when you know you are eating from your sweat. There's this sweetness that comes from your sweat that makes you feel different. Yes. Like this corn now, this is what I'm having now. It's from my own farm. You came, you saw where I went and brought it. Yeah. So given that day, they should go and roast it for me and enjoying it. That's I know where the salt and I know all that. So for the young, there is a place for the place for them. And I make bold to say that I started this campaign of go back to the farm. Our soil is our oil. Our oil is our soil. And so many have gone. Some are sending pictures of their farms. And we made on social media, made on Facebook. And then I started this one about Tom Suledo Party. And that's my political that I founded it. I say anybody from any party can come join. The young, the old, the poor, and all that. So we're encouraging people to go back to the farm. Yeah, some can do going be in the church and all that. All still good. That's their own farm. But there are some that cannot do that. So, but farming this type, if I have not seen a classroom, I've not been to school, you can do it. You've been to school, that's the advantage. You have the money, then you can expand. You have small, you can do according to your financial muscles. Yes. But everybody must be doing something. So if and I sell the farms, and then you're doing your other stuff there, you get the money, and then you patronize the farmers, you're farming in your own way. Exactly. And so those who do not are not doing anything, have lands, but are allowing it to waste, and then they go about begging for urgent 2K. just imagine how many urgent 2Ks are in the bag of soybean that is 90,000.
It's a profitable venture to
because
farm.
You have to beg for urgent 2K. Somebody gives you disrespectfully, and he expects you to stop thinking your own thoughts. He wants you to be thinking the way he thinks, be writing the way he wants you to write. And then some of those people, especially some of our big guys who are out there, they put their own children in good schools and then pull these ones who want to be used and then discard like toilet tissue to come and rubbish their names, their father's name and everything, all in the name of urgent 2K. But the man, I always say, that a man is very hard to frustrate and remote control. The man who is contented. When you go into the farm, you have your own food and you're contented. Nobody can use you and then they dump you. So I'm encouraging the young people that they come back to the farm. There's so much in the farm. And we're encouraging governments to encourage and help the young people so that they will not be frustrated. Because farming activities now, if you have no help from people, if you are poor, it will be difficult because getting good quality fertilizer, herbicides, seedlings, inputs, it's always sometimes expensive. So if the government gives the push, gives the help, I think that will be more attractive. So that is what government must do for us.
So with the little resources you have, you've been able to do quite a lot here. What do you see yourself upscaling to if you had even more resources at your disposal say maybe organizations watching would want to partner with you to advance the cause of agriculture in Benue State or even beyond the region, how can they partner in, and how do you want to upscale this, like you said, the mustard seed and making it grow?
Yeah, like the organizations are there, people out there to help. I can always look for more lands to see how I expand. I even help my groups. Like Dongomba, I can secure land and dedicate to their own farm that is theirs. Like the Matadei widows, I can get the farm dedicated, and then if I have the resources, have the financial strength, I can get the good land and then just dedicate the farm to the IDPs. So when the time comes, they'll help. Having in mind that though they are confined, they are ranched. Instead of cows being ranched, human beings are ranched in IDPs. That though they are ranched, they have their own farm. And so when they see that it's their own farm, they pull them out to come and try to feed the sweetness of their own sweat, it is better. So not always going to beg, because some people give and they get tired. But when you have a farm that is dedicated to them, and then you're giving them what is from the farm, and Mr. Mr. A is doing something, Mr. B is doing something, Mrs. A, and then like that, we keep them alive until normalcy returns and they go back to their ancestral homes. So if opportunity like that comes, we shall welcome it, and then we'll make a very good use of it.
Amazing. In conclusion now, let's look at the future of Nigeria. What is the future you see for Nigeria in terms of its agriculture and security, and what should be at the front burner for us as a nation now?
Nigeria is a country that is heavily blessed with human and natural resources. I think some other countries know what God has endowed Nigeria with. Then they'll have to ask God to show them their own God, because God has given so much to Nigeria. Wow, but we are so unfortunate that our problem has been the problem of leadership. People who really come and be that patriotic. We have a lot of parrots, but not patriots. And so there is so much talking, but nothing seems to be happening. Because like in Benue, most of the places that you see these herdsmen come attack are places that have fertile lands. Because just as the crops are doing well, that's how the grasses do. And so this will come, and then people who is their own land and who are farmers, they send them away, and then those who resist, they butcher them, they kill them. Pictures and everything, the evidence are there in abundance, and government does nothing. So as it is, if government look at how God has blessed us, because we lack good leadership, we are still importing food. If attention is given to the farmer is supported with all that he needs, then other countries will be trooping in to come and get some stuff from us. But as it is now, we're like a fish in the river, dying of thirst.
So what is the message of hope now to young people and our audience out there? A final word, a message of hope for anybody who may be watching us, the Farm Ferry viewers out there, and the entire nation, or anybody coming across this video. What's the message of hope for us as a people, as Nigeria, and as a cultural heritage?
My message of hope is just still in our hands. Because the hope that we have is still on our tongues. And so when it is time to vote people that will lead us, if we're conscious, we're conscious of having servant leaders, people who would really want us to feel what God has given us, and then we'll vote for them, and that will be the hope. That is the hope. But as it is now, it will still wait to sell our votes and then give it to the parrots, the parrots who do not have us at heart. Theirs is just a primitive accumulation, and all that will continue to suffer. So the hope is with us. The hope is on our tongue. We have the hope. And so it's just for us to release it, and then we'll see ourselves better than we are. And so that's it.
Amazing. It was really nice discussing with you, sir.
It's
been a wonderful tour of your farm too. And we say a big thumbs up to you too, and well done for all the initiatives you have been doing for the Benue people and Nigeria as a whole.
Thanks, my brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
As we all know, Benue State is the food basket of the nation, and more than ever before, as Father has been advocating, young people, we have strength, we have the zeal, we have the passion. We should all channel this into agriculture and then we see ourselves projecting high, we see ourselves pushing our names, we see ourselves pushing our reputation, and then we see ourselves exploring more, we see ourselves making it big, being successful in life. So my message to young people is for us to come together. Father has started it. We should put together resources. You might not be so buoyant to start with little resources. He said you can start with a mustard seed. Start with your mustard seed, and then you see it growing. Nigeria is going to the point where we're having food insecurity, and then it's nice if we start now. And as a Benue youth, as a Benue young mind, as a Benue indigene, I'm calling on all young persons to venture into agriculture, and then you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you so much.
For all these reasons, Father Mfa deserves every measure of support. His life and work reminds us that even in the darkest of times, true leaders rise to inspire hope, protect heritage, and pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. May his story continue to steer us to action and remind us that the future of our nation rests not in despair, but in the courage of those who choose to make a difference.